Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with me, Najia. I'm a psychic medium, and I normally do tarot and oracle readings on this channel. But today I'm doing a forecast for numerology personal year number 6. And I taught everybody how to calculate their personal year in a video called Calculate Your Personal Year. And it has the same thumbnail as I have here, except the thumbnail is in black and white instead of color, like this thumbnail. And but I'll just give you a really quick review on how to do it. Um, we have here on my phone, we have to calculate the year that you're interested in. So right now I'm interested in 2025. But if you're watching this video a year from now, or if you want to sneak peek ahead to 2026, then you would calculate and add up all the single digits in 2026. But right here we have 2025, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, add them all together equals 9. So we're in a 9 universal year. And to get your personal year for your personal forecast, you would add your birth date, the day of the month, and the actual month, the number for that month. So I had an example of our favorite celebrity here on the channel. Keanu Reeves was born September 2nd. It's also my birthday. So 9 plus 2 plus 9 is the universal year equals 2. But let's just say you were born 4 days later, you would end up with personal year number 6. And if you had already calculated your birth month, your birth date, and the universal year for 2025, which is 9, and it adds up and reduces down to the number 6 when you reduce it to a single digit, then you would be personal year number 6. And if you need a more complete description, just watch the video that I made for everybody, how to calculate your personal year. It's a black and white, the black and white thumbnail, same thumbnail as this video. Now, number 6 years in numerology, which is also the same in tarot, is a time to focus on home, family, community. It's a time to nurture and be nurtured and to create a beautiful, harmonious environment. So here are some of the things, the key things to focus on in a personal year 6. Domestic responsibilities. You'll be very involved on what goes on in your home and the domestic life, like you'll be very Martha Stewart, or you'll be, if you're, or you might be like, I can't remember the guy that used to have the home show. You'll be like that. That's going to be that kind of year, fixing up the house. You're also going to cultivate relationships. So you might focus more on having people into your home and cultivating relationships with family and friends, as well as romantic partners in a 6 year. You're also going to be finding that you will be drawn to contributing to your community in some way. You're going to make changes. You might make changes or commit to something such as getting married in a 6 personal year. Or you might do the opposite, go through a divorce, because this is like major relationship year. Or you will be improving existing relationships. And this is very much what goes on in tarot and oracle with the number six. It's very similar. Um, and that's where I have a lot of my experience. But there's a wonderful numerologist who I sourced a lot of the following information coming up. Her name is Christine Delore. I put her website link in my description box at the end. So I do psychic readings. I'm really good at that and helping people shift energy to create the life of their dreams. But a numerologist will help you in a much different way. So you can contact a numerologist to get a personalized reading. But if you want to kind of do a little bit of calculating that I'm teaching you, you can calculate your personal year for this year. And because this is number six, it's a time to reinvent yourself, a journey of responsibility, relationship balance, love, and healing. And, our most basic instinct is survival. And when we have our loved ones or our beliefs are threatened, we can make some amazingly extreme protective measures. However, we often fail to realize that these extremes can turn out to be more dangerous than the original threat. So there are now three powerful lanes. We talked about the lanes of energies in the number five reading, which was your reading for last year. Check that out to compare and contrast with this year. And on the left, on the right, they're the unstable fringes of opposite extremes. Okay? And the center is the balance. And this is where you want to focus on a number six year. You want to be responsible and balanced, and you really want to prioritize your growing, sense of duty, responsibility. And you have to first off accept that you do have responsibilities. You don't assume that you already know what they are. As the year unfolds, you'll realize at least, one responsibility is no longer yours. That happens. You're going to get rid of things that no longer serve you. Or, you realize you may have taken on something that didn't belong to you to begin with. You also may, as you delve into this awareness of responsibilities in this number six personal year, you'll also see things that actually required your attention that you weren't attending to, that you should have been doing, especially in your number four year when you were dealing with your building things. So you're going to come back to this theme again, and your primary obligation is to yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. That's why they always say, put your oxygen mask on first before you go save anybody else on that airplane. You must have self-care, all right? And you want to become more self-reliant and secure. You want to feel that security and safety and establish your place in this world, right? You're also, as you do your self-care, you're also going to end up caring for the needs of someone else. And you got to find a balance between their circumstances and your own. So there's going to be a lot of adjustment and sacrifice. And in most cases, the best way to help somebody else is letting them be responsible for themselves. Really, that's an important lesson to learn this year. So in other cases, you're going to require an unusual level of patience, compassion, and understanding to care for others. You may also have to reconsider ideas and beliefs that are no longer appropriate to the times of this unique situation. There's no need to enslave yourself to the needs of others if you're responding with a loving heart. If your responses come from guilt, if you're doing something because you're guilted into it, or you're afraid, you have fear, that, sometimes you feel afraid because guilt can produce fear. You could you could really be in for a bumpy ride, okay? You got to be, again, you got to be clear. We started that earlier in the other years about who you are and your identity and following your life contract. So this year, 6 emphasizes love and matters of the heart, including marriage and family and children, parents, close friends, responsibility, the home, healing, security, peace, right? Education, even, and creativity. Both the pleasures and the problems of your personal life will predominate. But when love is your motivation, almost anything can be achieved. However, it's necessary to learn the difference between love and control, to learn the difference between love and guilt, between love and fear, love and attraction, love and hate. You got to be truthful with yourself. You, you, your love can't be bought, sold, manipulated, controlled. You can't be gaslighted into being responsible for someone. So the failure to understand this has produced the mistaken belief that love hurts. Love can never hurt. It's only the loss of it that hurts. And our greatest fear of losing love that causes us to hold on to it too tightly. And then love itself gets hurt, right? So, blame, anger, may have to be expressed in order for you to realize that forgiveness is necessary. So, by letting people be who they really are, any manipulative instincts will start to feel out of place. So you got to accept where people are and just let your emotions flow openly and lovingly, even if they aren't acting the way you'd like them to be, okay? You can only control yourself. Others will then feel at ease in your presence. And by being this way, you have a genuine unity. It's all because you're starting to love and appreciate yourself more. And people will feel free in your presence. And so you should, so they should. You're a very different person to the one you were a couple of years ago in the number 4 year. You've grown, you've evolved. And as you evolve, you're going to reflect the new you. Um, don't take on responsibilities that are not yours, or accept accept responsibilities that you cannot keep. You don't want to be full of resentment and frustration. So you got to be clear. You got to accept that certain demands on your emotions, time, and resources will be made on this number 6 year. You have to know that it's in your power to heal yourself. And you can also help with the healing of others. But again, heal yourself so you can heal others. Yes, this is major this year. health and healing. And these symptoms will arise so that you can address them and get to the root of what caused them. So whenever it comes to health and healing, if you'll always find out that it's all about unexpressed emotions that are imprisoned within your body and need to be released. One of my favorite books that I gave out to at least 20 friends, I bought this book dozens of times. It was called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And she is such a wonderful, simple read. And she has a dictionary in the back of whatever disease you manifested and the underlying cause. It's always some unexpressed emotion, that gets stuck in the body. And she teaches you how to heal your life and heal your body. So I recommend that for anyone experiencing a number 6 year. So although you'll have problems of your own, you may also feel like everyone else's problems matter. And then you end up being the counselor, the problem solver, the therapist to everyone this year, because the six energy is so powerful. It's so rich in feeling. It will attract, people will be drawn to you, even strangers, because they can sense that you're able to help them. When you are carrying this number 6 energy, people are going to feel that. But you don't want to have anyone become dependent on you. So know when to say no. KNO, when to say NO. So this year, your new responsibilities will arise. That's inevitable. They just appear out of nowhere, and it's going to keep coming up. So, also on a 6 year, a lot of times people even go into a new home. They're trying to find their right place in the world. There's a strong sense of belonging in this type of year. And it's also the birth of a lot of home-based businesses. You may have conceived in your number 5, conception, change year, an idea, a seed, and then it's coming about, this home business, and expanding in the 6 year, which then creates additional responsibilities, right? And your relationships, and your place in life, it starts to be seen for what it really is, what they really are, because you'll start to really take a look at them and feel them. Just feel like, really take stock of your relationships. And this 6 year is very much like a number 2 year, which happened 4 years ago, in that it's a year where marriages and partnerships are formed or reformed. And in a 6 year, babies and new creative ventures are born, because the conception happened very often in the 5 year. You can even have long lost relatives and friends pop up out from nowhere in this year, because these are, what do they call, associations that need closure. There may be things from the past that need closure, that need healing, or need an ending, a final ending. So again, like a 5 year, emotions can run high and low, hot and cold, very similar to last year. But in this year, justice is sought and judgments are made. Your concept of that may change as you realize that it's different for each situation. So you want to think about, where there's blame toward yourself or someone else, there's also hatred. So therefore, you got to review your past judgments and re-examine them, and the feelings involved, have to be expressed outwardly. That because the space being taken up in your body, we talked about that. How you trap those emotions. It can even fester and turn into a physical cancer if you have hatred within your body. And you you want to examine that space and go move from this higher perspective. But you really got to rise up to that. You raise your vibration and look at the bigger picture, because that space that may now have hatred in your body, it could otherwise be occupied by love. All right, so eventually that hate will eat away at you and your body. Okay, so you got to accept, you got to understand, you got to forgive and heal. You got to heal this year. You can't fake heal and act nicey to everyone. This stuff has to be excavated. You can't be in denial. You can't have hatred being held in denial. It has to be brought up and resolved and talked about in the number 6 year. And you know, if you have hatred within you, and each and every one of us may have that sense denied, it can't leave the earth. So we have to have this loving intent to consider that we may be even holding hatred inside of ourselves. We all are to some degree, right? And we have to admit it sooner than later and seek the healing so that love can, so sooner that love can free itself and of its conditions and rules, and just become unrestricted, because love wants that freedom. It wants to flow. In this year, you're going to be seen as reliable and dependable. This is your responsibility here. And it can be comforting to know that you're approved of and belong in a certain circle or family, but you gotta stop judging yourself by what other people want from you or society deems to be how you should be, okay? There's no how you should be in this year. It's taking stock of who you are and being responsible for yourself and accepting and loving yourself. There's nobody here on this earth that can determine your truth for you or to dictate the direction of your life. They got to worry about their own life. So don't seek any approval. You got to follow your own feelings, your own truth. Remember to stay on your soul contract, your free will soul contract. That's what your responsibility is in this number 6 responsibility year. 6 is like a year of education, the kind that involves personal pursuit of your truth. We all have so much to learn about life, no matter how old we are. And this is not learned in the regular classroom. It's all about the experience. So don't assume that you have all the answers or anybody else does, like a teacher, guru, politician, or whatever preacher. There's an extreme energy at work when we insist that we're right all the time and when we assume we're wrong and need to tell others what's right, okay? So don't get into that end of it, thinking you know the answers and telling someone else, dictating things to them. So realize, take stock of yourself in this year, and because you will feel that magnetism you have this year. You'll attract whatever you focus on more easily, and people will be drawn to you to seek your advice. But be honest, because this has its drawbacks, right? There's this incredible sense of focus you'll have this year. So if you focus on something bad, you'll end up in bad situations. If you focus on money, ooh, you can end up with money. But if you focus on poverty, you end up with poverty. So if you focus on what you don't like about other people, then you're just going to be surrounded by their negative behavior. Did you ever hear the saying, look for problems and you'll find them? Okay. So this year, you want to focus on the good in others. You got to replace your outdated beliefs with more realistic understandings of life's, precious diversity. You got to seek peaceful solutions to all the problems and allow others to live their soul contract without your judgment and constant input. So if you're struggling with an obligation reluctantly, which can really happen this year, or resentfully, or fearfully, or guiltily, you're probably doing it for the wrong reason. Responsibility, it too often implies something for which you have no choice, something that takes away your freedom, something that's little appreciated, something that's been forced upon you. And love cannot force. Guilt can. Listen, I've had that issue, been forced into things through guilt, and people calling it love and your responsibility. No, it's no good, and it's not love, it's guilt. So if a responsibility is not of your will, then the chances are it's not your responsibility. Okay? You got to think why you're taking something on. This year, it offers you the freedom to take care of the real responsibilities in a very loving, flowing way. There's a balancing energy to the 6 that restores and heals. So this year, you're on a journey of power and priority. It's learning the truth of how you feel about your various relationships. It's a journey of healing the gaps between generations, genders, judgments, and individuals. It's a journey of peace this year. It's a journey of love. Now, for those of you who added up to 33 before it reduced to a single number of 6, the next part is for you. Some of you might have gotten, when you added everything up, you might have gotten 15, a 1 and a 5 equals 6, or a 5 and a 1, 51 equals 6, or 2 and 4 equals 6. But if you got a master number 33 before it reduced down to the single digit 6, there is a really great emphasis on the power of words, images, manifestation, and improvement on all levels. If you have a master number 33, you have more power. You have its angelic help behind you this year. This is the master number of the teacher, the healer, the communicator. So check out how you added your numbers. When it was 2 digits, was it a 33? If it was a 33, before you reduced it to a 6, this is very important for you. The energies, it works with the 6 energy, right? It does, the 33 works with the energy, not replacing it. Okay. I know a lot of people, they get confused by this. They're like, how can it be a 33 and a 6? Is it a 33 year? Yeah, it is, but it's not replacing it. It's both. This energy, it occurs less frequently, but it's very, very intense. It's, all numerological vibrations can be, as well as knowledge, can be used to cause harm. And it's far more likely the holder of this energy will be consciously striving for the good of many. So, just in case you're not, it's imperative that you understand the base of free will for all people. Otherwise, this energy can impose your own beliefs and ideas on others. So remember, 6 is the predominant energy of the dictator or tyrant. Thankfully, most people dealing with this energy seem to, if you encounter this energy, lack personal ambition. People with the 33 sincerely prefer to direct the power toward the upliftment of others, because this is a very beautiful master number. So you want to help people open their paths so they can live more freely and peacefully. Unconditional love is the goal. There's a level of devotion involved with a 33/6 energy. It is so powerful that neither can be, it can't be faked, and neither can this energy be maintained for long periods of time without great stress, because it's very intense. So don't try to be a superhuman. Just be yourself. Let this energy flow. Give yourself permission to just relax into yourself. So if you try to give the impression that you're always on top and you're always right, you're always bound to fall flat on your face. So you're allowed to make mistakes, but you got to make them in order to learn what works and what doesn't. We dealt with that a lot in the number 4 and the 5 year, right? Last year and the year before. So this year, if you have a number 33, 6 year, your reputation is very likely to be important to you this year. So do not grasp at straws to prove you know more than you do. Okay? So the more intelligent, evolved approach would be to say, I don't know. And then learn what needs to be learned. That just accept what you don't know and strive to learn what needs to be done. Being able to learn new things is one of the great gifts of the 33/6 energy. However, without the desire to do so, without the desire to learn, this potential cannot be fulfilled. It's that very desire that gives you the fuel to move and get things done. This energy gives you the creative vision to change the world in a very loving and purposeful way, but also the physical means to put your vision into action. So if this is fulfilled, you'll be able to offer guidance directly or through yourself or connections to others. So Some of the most potent features of a 33-6 are sincerity and devotion, and the understanding that you cannot preach to others what you yourself have not yet learned or experienced. This makes your particular form of communication authentic and attractive. So you may want to listen to this video to get the most out of it, to help this year take advantage of the flow of energy present. You may just want to play it while you're falling asleep or while you're doing some work around the house, while you're cooking, especially if you're in the 6-year, very domestic year. Play my video while cooking and just listen to it. You don't need to see me. Although I did wear my hair tinsels for you, and I did my holiday nails for you with my little nail stickers. So at least if you do have to look at me, I try to make it interesting. But just listen to me, and you'll get a lot out of this, and it will really help you help your year move along in the most productive way. I've been taking advantage of numerology the last few years and my personal years, and it really, really helped build some success and turn my life around. So I hope it does for you. Give everything a thumbs up. It will help the algorithms so that my channel gets out to more people and I can continue what I do. Share the video, subscribe for free. And if you want to be a member in my community, there's special perks in being a member for just a few dollars a month. It helps keep everything going. And many blessings to you this year. Many, many, many blessings to you. And thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me in this numerology forecast. Thank you, thank you.